Hey friends, welcome back. Today we're talking about something that's been on our church calendar for a while, and if you follow us on our emails or on our social media feed, you've probably seen it. We were just at the Michigan Annual Conference a couple of weeks ago. Each year, United Methodists from across the state gather for worship, learning, celebration, and the work of the church. This year's theme was Love Boldly, and there were a lot of meaningful moments and conversations throughout the weekend. So today, Pastor Brad is joining me to share some highlights, reflect on what stood out to us, and talk about what it all means for our church moving forward. Hi friends, and welcome to Between Sundays. I'm your host, Torri, and I'm really glad you're here. This is a space where we talk about faith in the middle of real life, the moments that don't always make it into Sunday morning. Let's dive in. Today I'm joined by our senior pastor, Pastor Brad, and we're going to talk to you about annual conference. How are you, Brad?
Hello, how are you?
I am tired today, but I'm good. I seem to be tired a lot, though. So over the past several days, anyone who's followed along our social media or through our email updates or even on our website, they know that members of our church attended Michigan Annual Conference a few weeks ago. And we thought it would be super helpful to sit down and talk about what annual conference actually is, what happened this year, why it matters to our church family, all of the things. So let's start. You ready?
Okay, yes.
For someone who has never heard of annual conference before, what exactly is it?
Well, in the United Methodist Church, different areas of the country are made up of conferences. In our conference, we're made up of all of the United Methodist churches in the Michigan, state of Michigan. And that means the UP to the Lower Peninsula, to every border. And we come together with pastors that come from all the churches throughout the state, as well as laity who are representatives of their churches, come to meet together to worship, to talk about important things regarding the United Methodist Church. We're there to learn, to pray, to sing, and just enjoy being together as we do the business of the church for our conference.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorite things is that, yeah, of course there's business, but there's all of the other things that make it fun and enjoyable and a learning experience. Yeah. What's your favorite part about conference?
I think my favorite part is, well, I have lots of favorite parts. The very first favorite part as we begin conference is when we all come into the room down there, or up in Traverse City where we meet, and we have our opening worship. Mm-hmm. And to be in a room that's got over 1,000 plus people in it, and to start singing the hymns and hearing the voices of 1,000 plus people is an amazing thing. It's a great way to energize each of us who are there for beginning our conference. Mm-hmm. And the music is always wonderful, and it's done by people who are laity and clergy within our conference that volunteer to be a part of the music program. And we get to sing songs that we, in many churches, don't get to sing for whatever reason. So it's a lot of fun coming together, and it's a great time to reconnect with friends that you've made through the years if you've been going to annual conference for a while. I figured out that I've been going for 26 years this last conference. So it's trying to think back from the beginning to now, and it's hard to believe 26 years has gone by.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy, 26 years.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I feel like I've gone 5 years maybe, but not consecutively, because there was a time where I took some time off from going when I had my son, and so I skipped like 2 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember being taken aback my first time being there, and the opening worship started, and it's like, holy crap, where am I? This is not my home church.
Yeah, most churches are not 1,000+ member churches,
No.
especially here in Michigan.
Yeah.
So to have 1,000+ people singing is an incredible thing, to just have that kind of volume and sound around you. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing. Everybody seems to hit the right notes.
At least if they aren't, you don't notice it.
Yes.
Unless you're standing by someone who is, then you notice.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
So moving on, this year's theme was Love Boldly. What stood out to you about that theme?
I think the theme itself is a great thing, to love boldly, and to try and figure out what that means is that we should be willing to live out our life so that other people can see it. Not just a little by little, but live our lives strongly enough that people see us and they know who we are because of the way we live our lives. Mm-hmm. We worship in ways that are bold, like we do at annual conference. Be bold with our music, be bold with our prayer, be bold with the message, be bold with our time together. Don't shy away from showing what we believe, mm-hmm. but live it, and so that others know who we are by what they see and hear.
Yeah, and eventually, hopefully, getting to know the Lord because of what they are seeing and hearing us do.
Because they want to also have that experience.
Yeah. I've often said that, where it's like, I have such a strong relationship with the Lord, and I just want everyone to know exactly what that feels like. Mm-hmm. But of course, my relationship's going to be different than your relationship or with someone else's, based on your life experiences too, which I think makes that super fun and unique. And like, why wouldn't you want to share your story with someone? So do it boldly.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
One of the questions that I was thinking about during the weekend that kept coming up to me was what it really looks like here to love boldly here in Jackson. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, again, to show who we are, to reach out to all people, because in the United Methodist Church, we are an inclusive church of all people, and we want to make sure that we show others by the way we act with them, that we are living out our faith boldly. We need to be able to reach out to our homeless people, as well as those who come from nice homes or medium, low, high homes, whatever it is, that we can all come together and be in relationship with each other to share and support and love each other boldly in our life. And we want to show that to everybody we come in contact with.
Yeah, and I think we're beginning to do a really good job of stepping out of our comfort zones here at Jackson First with some of the things we're doing, like some of our ministries we partner with Jackson Free Methodist to do. We do the back to school blast that's coming up. We feed almost anybody that will show up for fresh food distribution. Sometimes we run out of food, but we feed kids during the school year. I mean, I feel like we're really doing a good job of stepping out of that comfort zone to love boldly and to help our neighbors in the process.
There's always more room for improvement, but we're on a good path towards that.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree. So every conference has its memorable moments. Is there anything that stood out to you this year that was memorable to you?
I think one of the big standouts every year, which is at the very end of conference, is when all of our clergy put on their robes and their stoles, and then we all progress in, and we're sitting together with our fellow pastors, and we also have our laity and families who come to join us on that final day to sit in the worship, and we get to watch and listen as people are ordained and commissioned for ministry, and also share with people, those who may have retired or passed on throughout the year as well. Those are, I don't want to say exciting, but they are times that we can really reflect on ministry and what that means, and the time that people have devoted through the years, because there are many who are retiring in the last few years that have been in ministry for over 40 years.
Wow.
And that's a long time.
Yeah. Gosh, I thought my 5 years was long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of humbling to see the length of time that people have been doing ministry. Because ministry is not always an easy thing to do, but it is a rewarding thing.
Yeah.
And so pastors who, you can't say that they have never struggled along the way. It's like everybody else. We have our struggles and we go through, but with the grace of God, we make it through. And it is very rewarding to be able to be a part of that.
I bet it is. I know that just being in the room for ordination is like, well, any of those moments that you brought up is very emotional as a person. Like, I don't know a lot of the people who retired or passed away, but just you feel like you do when you're in that room because you're surrounded by people who did.
Right.
And I cry every time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a crybaby anyway, but.
Well, there's also other exciting times during the 4 days that we're there. And to be able to participate in some of the missional type events that they have on Friday mornings. Like they call it a 0K, which is actually a 5K long, but you can walk, you can ride your bike, you can have your scooter, you can run, and it's just to raise money to help hunger with children in our state. We also have a golf outing that happens, and the golf outing is sponsored by our church camps that we have to help fund the church camps. We have a meal packing, which they pack bags of rice to give to people who are hungry in our state. We have other ways that you can give through offerings or donations for missions that are around the world. We specifically in the Michigan Conference support Haiti in their hunger and homelessness and struggles, and also Liberia in Africa that helps them as well with those same struggles, hunger and housing. And there's so many different ways that we participate in missional type opportunities at conference. And we, as a gathered people that are connectional, that come together, and I can explain what the connectional part is, but we come together as one and work to be bold in the way we love people, in the way we reach out to people, and how we live our lives. And that kind of thing is exciting because in the United Methodist Church, we are a missional church.
Yeah.
We have a booklet that actually talks about the social principles that we support, and there's many of them. We also have on Friday nights, we have a mission fair that talks about all of the different missional things that we have here in the state of Michigan that are supported. Again, from church camps to places like Cass Community in Detroit, and the NOAA Project, which helps feed hungry people in the Detroit area. There's programs for indigenous people in our state that we support. There's a whole list of different tables that are set up to help people understand the different ways that our church, the United Methodist Church, as well as other people outside of the church, can join in and participate. That's one nice thing about being in mission. It's not only about the people that come and sit in our churches. It's people that want to also do it that are not a part of our church to participate.
Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity to unite as one body, regardless of where you are or where you come from or all of the above, right? I love that opportunity.
Getting back to that connectional part.
Yes.
The United Methodist Church is a connectional church. Each local church is not a standalone unit, as you can tell with our conference, but we are connectional in that we support other churches that are United Methodist within our conference and throughout the world. We are connected in those ways, and we use each other for resources. We use each other for prayer. We use each other for collaborating together. We use each other as friends and support people. And we also do it financially through the conference. When churches or people are struggling, oftentimes it's related to financial ways, and the way our structure is set up, there is money that we can help support churches, pastors, and the congregations in certain ways, financially as well.
Yeah, I like that. I like that we're able to support each other in whatever way we need it. Especially, I feel like they make it really easy to network at conference, but also just in general. At least I feel that way. I mean, if you know so many people and you're able to connect us, but then we've made friends from previous clergy who have been here at Jackson, but also just people we meet there who are like, oh, you're like my new best friend because you can help me with this. But then you connect really well, and so they do actually become a friend. Too. That's my favorite part of conference.
That's the wonderful thing about conferences. You meet new people that may not be near your church, but they become friends, support, and can share ideas of ways of doing ministry. Yeah.
I got to meet a couple of your friends who kept wanting to share some stories about your past.
Oh,
that was
of course.
Fun.
I don't know. Can you call those my friends?
Don't worry. They were all good things. One of my favorite parts about conference is seeing how all of these different ministries are happening across Michigan and how easy it is for our own church to do more, to see more, to get the ideas. Is there anything that you learned with these different ministries and missions that you thought, oh, that'd be perfect to bring back to Jackson first?
Well, it's a great thing when you go to conference and hear how other churches are doing it. It's not shameful to borrow their ideas. And likewise, that's part of being in the United Methodist Church. We do share ideas that may work. They may need tweaking a little bit for our particular location. But they're ideas that obviously we haven't thought about. And we always are looking for new ways to reach people. No matter who they are, if they're on the streets or in local areas of the community or in nursing homes, assisted living homes, whatever it may be, there's always ways that we can reach those people and help them. It may be through food, it may be through visitation and listening and praying. It may just be sitting there being with them during whatever it is they're going through. And I think there are many opportunities out there. I always come back with a bunch of ideas, and then we have to make a priority of which ones we think that would work. Do we have the resources within our church to do a program like that? As well as the human resources of people. Are they? Do we have the people who are willing to step up and do those things? And sometimes we have to say no, and sometimes we just have to try it. That's the wonderful thing about ministry is you can try anything, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, well, it's like Jesus says, wipe the dirt off your feet and move on and try something else. And so I just enjoy hearing other people talking about what's going on in their church when we have those conversations with those that are around us in conference or in the hallway or while we're eating our meals together. We don't typically stay in our same groups. We tend to have other people around us that we may know or we may not know that we can talk to.
Yeah, that's been a lot of fun. I'm a people person, though, so conference is kind of my place to be. I like to meet all kinds of people, and then sometimes Becky, my roommate and sister who comes with me, it's like, well, you're an introvert, I'm an extrovert, I want to go and you don't, so bye. So it's hard. It's hard, but it's also a lot of fun too. And we're grown women, so I can separate from Becky, and she's going to be fine, and I'm going to be fine.
There is something else that I spoke about a little bit is our worship time. For pastors, being in a conference is wonderful when it comes to worship. And one of the main reasons is we don't have to lead the service. We can be in the pews. And for pastors, I think people forget that the pastor's always up front, but there's a difference between leading and actually worshiping. And being in conference, we can just be in the pew and worship like our congregations do in the churches. And I think that's important, even if it's just one day or 3 days out of the year that we go to conference. But the pastors find that opportunity to do that. It's so easy for pastors to get burned out. And sometimes churches don't understand, well, why do they get burned out? It's their job. Well, but our jobs, which a lot of people work 40 hours a week or less, pastors, their 40-hour weeks look more like 80 to 120 hours a week some weeks. And it is easy to get burned out. It is sometimes easy to get discouraged. There are positive times, though, in ministry. The great thing about being in ministry is every day is something different.
Yeah.
So it's not monotonous. You are always, my calendar changes by the hour, I think, some days. And, but you get to do different things, meet different people, participate in different activities, whether it's in the church, outside the church, in the community, or maybe going across state lines to somewhere else to do the work of the church.
Mm-hmm.
And so pastors need encouragement.
Yeah.
They need to be supported. They need to be remembered that they are human too.
Mm-hmm.
And they just need to have some kind of a time of rest.
Yeah. I think it's important to acknowledge, too, you mentioned the 80 to 120 hour weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to recognize that those aren't spent working on Sunday morning.
Right.
They're not spent, I mean, yes, you do have to write a sermon,
Yeah.
but that doesn't take you 120 hours
Well,
a
it
week.
doesn't happen 10 minutes before the worship either.
No, it doesn't. But I think it's important to recognize that there are so many other moving pieces
Mm-hmm.
that happen for a pastor in the office or outside of the office, wherever you are,
Right.
that don't even touch a Sunday morning worship service. And I
Yep.
think that I've met people and I've had conversations here where they've just assumed that senior pastor was there to attend the meetings and write a sermon.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not the case.
No, not really.
Yeah, I share an office wall with you. I've seen very clearly what it looks like to be a pastor and
Yeah.
work those crazy hours.
Yep.
So I don't work as many crazy hours, but I do feel
Yeah.
like that trickles down to any laity who are serving in a ministry leader role of some kind too.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely resonate with everything you've just spoken
A
about.
pastor always, or should always, be participating in the events of the church.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of things that go on in this church, and they're usually after the office hours of the week. And so I try to be at all of them, to be visible, to participate alongside our congregation as they reach out, or from dinners, which I'm always up for getting fed. That's a Methodist thing for anybody who's listening. Food.
We love our food.
And but to be worshiping or giving food out to people, to working our car shows. We have downtown here. We give out water and pop and popcorn to people who are in the on the street down here, downtown Jackson.
Yeah.
Or it could be we have events that are with children out at our parks here at Cascade and Ella Sharp Park.
Yeah.
It could be any number of things that we do around the community, especially another thing coming up is our back to school blast that we this year are planning on giving out 1,500 backpacks to children in the Jackson area who a lot of them do not have the money to purchase school supplies. And so this is a big event that's grown through the years. And I guess the early ones were somewhere under 200 that they gave out, and now we're up to 1,500 this year.
Yeah. Yep.
The need is there, and families are very grateful that we put this on, and we get the support of businesses and other churches and in our community here that help bring this to Jackson area.
Yeah.
And that's a long day.
Yes, it is.
Actually, we've been doing it all year long, planning and getting ready for this. So
Yeah.
it's once we finish one, we start right away planning for the next year.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure we leave the event with next year's date booked already.
Yep.
Like, we don't mess around here.
That is true. It takes a lot of planning, a lot of talking to our businesses and people who support us throughout this area.
Yeah.
And it's become a real good success, and people look forward to it every single year.
Mm-hmm. I think it's one of our biggest ways we show that we love boldly, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I remember the first back-to-school blast. I was, I don't remember how old I was, but I was asked to be at the face painting station. Mm-hmm. I don't face paint. But I did it, and luckily, nobody asked for anything too hard.
Yeah.
So I was able to at least make it through, and then I loved it. So I ended up doing face painting for like 2 or 3 years. But I remember those first few years, we did haircuts, we had dental checks, vision checks, the face painting, of course, the backpacks and the school supplies. There was a closet you could go shopping for some clothes for. Mm-hmm. So many things, and it fit in Fellowship Hall.
Yeah.
With the I think the clothing was like up in our memorial chapel, so that was technically in another room. But for the most part, for those first couple of years, everything fit in one room in this building.
Yeah.
And then it grew to a point where it's like, okay, they're all over the building. And then we had to use the park across the street and the church. And now we're over at the event centers.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see how well that this is taken off and grown. And it is a long day, but it is one of the fun events we do.
One thing that kind of some people hear about it, but it kind of gets overlooked at the Back to School Blast is we also have people who check car seats for families to make sure that they have the right car seat, that it's hooked in properly in the cars. And I think we even have they give away car seats to people who don't have them. And so that is an important thing, especially for young parents who are trying to figure out what parenting is all about and what the needs are, and to make sure that they are keeping their children safe.
Yeah. And
so that is also part of it. It's not in the event center itself, but it's outside.
Yeah.
And they help out with that every year.
I love that we do that because it's so tricky, especially for someone who just desperately needs one. Mm-hmm. It's really easy to go find one at a Goodwill store. Yeah. Actually, I don't technically know if the thrift stores can sell car seats, but they can find one, and they may not know that it's been in an accident or that it's expired. If it wasn't disposed of, I think you have to cut like the seatbelt or something to really prove like you cannot use this. This is bad now.
The new regulations require a different seat throughout the progression of ages now in the state of Michigan.
Yes.
So there's many things that when I was growing up, back in the early that have changed since then, and I can remember when we didn't even have seatbelts. But there's new regulations on how to keep not only your children but yourselves safe in vehicles.
Yeah.
And staying up on that is not an easy thing to do.
No.
You can go to a store and see a whole row of car seats, but they may not be the car seat that's for your child. Mm-hmm. And so that's where you can get that help is at that Back to School Blast.
Yes. Yeah, I love that because we have three different seats, and some of it is just because he outgrew, obviously, my son's 3. He's not in the baby carrier anymore.
Yeah.
But then there's another one. We got the one that rotates in the car so that it made getting him in and out easier, especially for me because he's a giant child.
Yeah. He is now.
Yes. And I don't have the upper body strength to keep up with his growth anymore. So that was helpful for a while. But now he's too big, and so we've had to move to another seat, and just you're kind of always, I say it a lot in parenthood, you learn one thing and then you throw it out the window because it's not going to matter in 24 hours.
Well,
Then
Just
that's how
wait till the day where he jumps in by himself, gets in, and hooks himself into the car seat.
I'm praying because he's so heavy. It's really hard to lift him into the car now.
Well, that day will come, and then you'll be wishing he was back in the the other car seat.
I try not to wish the time away because so many people here in the church have told me not to wish this time away.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that a little bit in some of like the older videos and pictures of his first months.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying not to do that, but I'm also looking forward to it too.
Hold on to each day and cherish it.
Yes. So we've digressed a teeny bit.
Yeah.
So cycling back to annual conference, and I wanted to ask you, because you were talking a lot about the work of a pastor, what piece of advice would you give to a pastor who's struggling, a ministry leader struggling, or even a ministry leader considering what it might be to be called into ministry to take those next steps? What would your piece of advice be?
Well, like I said before, pastoring is a very rewarding job. And to be able to care for other people as your job, yes, it can be tiring, but it can also be something that fulfills your everyday need to live boldly, love boldly, and you can walk away feeling that you've made a difference. I experience that in many different ways, whether it's going to the interfaith shelter here in Jackson and sitting down with people as they sit down for their dinner, which we do once every 2 months in a rotation with other churches, or if it's doing the worship service after we eat with the people who come in, and to give them a message and sing some music and to pray with them. It could be a number of things like that. It could be also that being out in the middle of our Fall Fest.
Yeah.
Out there where we have been working with kids during the Fall Fest, where they can come and do activities instead of just walking up and down and eating the 40 different kinds of chili. I can do that pretty well. But it's good to be out there with those kids and reaching them. This last year, it was pretty warm out there, and we had a lot of people that we connected with as we handed out water and pop, and because it was hot and a lot of people were thirsty.
Yeah.
And so we didn't want anybody passing out at the Fall Fest.
Yeah. Didn't we later find out we were the only table with pop and water and everyone else had beer?
Well, there was one at the opposite end.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
But they were charging for it, and we were giving it away free.
Yes. Go us.
But that's okay. We were right next to the pumpkin paintings thing there in the park, and it turned out well. We had a lot of interest, a lot of people we were able to talk to that asked questions, not only about our church, but what kinds of things we do in the community. And that's one of them that we do. And we have all kinds of other events for children, youth, coming up during the summer out at Ella Sharp and at Cascades Parks, play date type things. And just many, many things. You might even see me on JTV if you watch that for events, or hear me on the radio. You can listen to me talking about events that are coming up.
Yes.
We have, of course, the big seasons of Christmas and Easter, and all of the events that go along with those holidays that we want to let people know about and can come and join us. our church is open to anybody. You can come and participate and share with us, get to know us. We get to know you, and we can become friends.
Yeah, who doesn't love friends, right?
Yeah, we all need more friends.
Amen. Especially friends of quality,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like when you come to a church community, that's what you get.
Yeah,
We're not here to mess around and play games
Right.
with your friendship, but we're in it for the long haul,
yeah.
or whatever haul you're willing to open up to.
And we try our best not to be overbearing, but when we see new people, we want to be able to come and introduce ourselves and get to know them. And for some people, that may be a little bit overbearing, but we are open to having people tell us, well, I'm not quite sure yet. And we are okay with that.
Yeah.
We just want to help you in whatever way we can.
Yes. I've often said that to several people who have walked through our doors at one point, where I just want you to find your community. And if that's here, that's wonderful. I love that for you. But if it's not with us and it's at a different church, or it's in a different nonprofit or whatever, I'm happy to connect you with some of the people I may know.
Right.
And I hope that you find the community that you need in this season of your life.
Yes.
As much as I would love it to be me and my friends here, I'm okay with you finding it elsewhere if that's where you need to be.
We'll still be your friends no matter where you land.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good way to put it. We should make that a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So, for knowing that we have listeners in our congregation and listeners in the community, what else can you tell us about annual conference that will help both parties understand kind of where we've landed now that annual conference is over for the year?
Well, annual conference is the worship. It is all of the things we've talked about here so far. But we also have business of the church that we have to do. Like any other business or any other church, there's this little thing called budgets that we have that we have to be mindful of, that we have to work within to do the ministries of the church. And part of our discussion is our budget. We have finance teams throughout the conference, or in the conference, that goes through and creates a budget to support our pastors, support our bishop and the staff of the conference, that they oversee, and to be helpful to all the churches in their needs. And that's part of our budget. Some of our budget is for missional type things. Some is for, like I said, helping churches.
Yeah.
Some is for the communication and marketing of the church. There's resources for to help churches with children's education. There's resources for adult education. There's resources for pastors in the churches. There's resources for the laity to find new ways to do church.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities within our conference that we have people, the leaders in our conference, that do work to support the people of the churches, which there are some churches that have that opportunity outside of the United Methodist Church, and then there are some who don't.
Yeah.
And that's one good thing that we have, is that support.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
So let's wrap up. I want to ask you a few rapid fire questions.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
I know. This is my favorite way to end. You ready?
Sure.
What was your most inspiring moment of conference?
I think my most inspiring was our guest leader that came in and spoke to us.
Oh, yes.
Dr. Ashley Bogan, who is from the General Conference, which is the conference that's over all of the annual conferences here in the United States and throughout the world, actually. And she came and talked to us about our beginnings as Methodist and how that has shaped who we are today. She is so good at communicating that in her conversation. And just listening to her brought up so many things that I had already known, but there was many things that went beyond what we're typically taught in seminary or what we read. And it was very interesting to get that information that we can bring back to explain to our people how Methodism began, how it has evolved to where we are today, and how we as Methodists, what we believe and live out each day in our tradition.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I got to sit in on those and that I came back after dinner as we were asked to, because she was a very dynamic speaker and I'm a history guru. I like the history of things, and so it was really fun to be in there and learn the history, because I have not done the readings that you have done. But also you left not even realizing you learned something. Really, like, she made it that easy to learn the things.
Yes,
I'm really geeked to read her book.
Well, both books that she has. Yes.
I don't know when I'll have the time to do it, but I'm going to try really hard to find the time to do it, because I'm geeked to do that.
Yeah.
What was your favorite worship moment?
Well, like I said, I always love ordination worship, but the opening worship is always great too. Because you have the musical aspect of it. We have a almost like a flash mob choir that comes. They have like 2 practices to come and practice before they actually have to sing for conference. And so we have the choir, we have our praise band, we have pastors in our conference who, there's a couple of them who write their own music too. And one of the songs this year for our vision of Loving Boldly, she wrote that song of Loving Boldly, living.
I hadn't heard that story, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And so we have very artistic, I guess you could say, musicians within our conference that work very hard to prepare for our annual conference every year.
Yeah, I was going to say they do a wonderful job, because we've talked about that here at Jackson First. How can we hold our ground with our traditional service, which we do well and we love very much, but then bridge in the new things, right? We're in 2026.
Right.
And I feel like annual conference is the perfect representation of what it means to have everything: the praise band, the choir, the typical message, the screens, and the book. Like we do it all. You can't be, if you're upset at a worship service at annual conference, then there is something wrong, because they go out of their way to really make sure everybody's accommodated and every worship style is there. So that's my favorite part too. I love that.
We don't just sing new Christian contemporary songs, or however you want to define it. We still sing some of those out of our hymnal that are now 300 years old. Because those are the songs that our tradition has keeps being reminded in the church year after year. Now, some of the songs that we have in our hymnals can also be sung to other tunes. And so the words are the same, but the tunes are a little different. And that's always interesting to hear because we become so accustomed to a certain tune that it's good to sing it in a different way and hear those words in different ways as well, because it brings new meaning to them. Kind of like the scriptures do. Each time we read it, we learn something a little bit different than we did the last 50 times we read it.
Right. Which is why it's the living word.
Right, exactly.
Because it's always impactful.
Yep.
I love that. That's my favorite part, is being able to read it, and for some reason this word that's always been there didn't stick out until that day.
And it's because you're in a different place in your life. Something new is going on in your life, and that word makes a huge difference of how it represents what you're going through.
Yeah, I love that. I'm just a geek about it. I love it. What is one thing at conference that surprised you?
It didn't rain.
That's true.
I don't think we've had a year that it hasn't rained in quite a while.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that we go through are the same things, but with different information, different things that we talk about. Every year we have legislation items that people within our conference brings up that they want to maybe make a change somehow of the way we're doing things, or do missional type things in a different way through our conference, or there's the regular business stuff that we have to do every single year. And we have those discussions. We talk through them. We work and craft them in language that people can stand behind and work. And then we have those decisions that after we vote on it as a conference.
Yeah.
That's one thing about our annual conference, that it's the whole body, the 1,000+ people there that represents all of our churches, make the decisions of how we do work in our church.
Yeah.
On most things.
Yes.
Now, on certain things that are affect the entire church throughout the world, it's a little different. We have to meet in what they call a general conference, which happens every 4 years.
And we just had one in 2024,
which was supposed to be 2020, but
right.
We all remember what happened in 2020.
Yeah.
So they pushed it off another 4 years, so we didn't have one in 2020.
Yeah.
Which I think is, I don't know if it's the first time. We've never had one every quadrennium or not.
Oh, wow.
Since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
I think stuff like that is a little surprising. We always get a little surprised of the conversations we have over some of these legislative items that we talk about. In our minds, it seems okay to me, but in other minds, they're at the total opposite side of the spectrum. And maybe they're thinking about something differently than we think when we talk about those items.
Yeah, which is, again, another really cool part, because you get to hear all of the perspectives in the room, especially if somebody's from the UP and I'm here down at the bottom of the state, then their experience could be completely different than what my experience has ever been. And so, of course, I'm not going to think the same way that they are.
Yeah. So we have churches in far, far rural places, and we have churches in inner cities, and we have churches just outside the city. So there's so many different dynamics of churches throughout the state. And, of course, there's all of the different viewpoints and ideas of what life should be like, what worship looks like, what how churches should reach their communities. Even those ideas are different. Yeah. And a lot of times it's because people in rural areas don't think and act the same way that people in inner cities do.
Yeah.
And so there is that diversity out there that we have to work through to get to know and understand where other people's ideas are coming from, and empathize with them because they live different lives than we do.
Yeah.
And we live different lives than they do. So, and I've been in both.
That's true. I've
been in little towns and I've been in huge towns.
Yeah.
And Jackson's kind of in between town here, city.
Yeah.
I've been in the large churches throughout my life, and I've been in the small country church.
Mm-hmm. That's what makes having conversations with you for me so much fun, because Jackson First is all I've ever known.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I went to Spring Arbor University for a little while, and so I've been to their chapel services, and I've gone to Radiant. I've done things with friends, and I've seen other churches, but most of them have been contemporary, and most of them actually haven't even been United Methodist churches that I've gone to.
Right.
And so it's really interesting to hear your perspectives and your experiences and all the things that you've gotten to do.
Yeah.
That I have not done.
Yeah, I've been in quite a few different churches.
Yeah.
Not churches that I've been in throughout my life that I go week after week, but I like to go and experience how other people worship. Mm-hmm. And to hear how they maybe do their worship service versus what ours looks like.
Yeah.
And you go to these little small country churches, and they do it differently than we do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Tradition is part of the United Methodist Church, and we have a lot of old churches. Mm-hmm. The church that I just came from is celebrating its 200th anniversary this year.
Yay!
And here at Jackson, it won't be long. We'll be celebrating our 200 years here as well in just a couple of years.
Sure. That's how math works.
Yes. And so there's, the church has been around a long time, and to hear the history of just our local churches is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
This church here, as well as the one in Dundee, I don't remember Hudson, but the church was here when the city and towns were founded.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's been around as long as this city of Jackson has been here.
Yeah. I'm told that our church, as it stands today, our church was built in 1922. Mm-hmm. But there is a version of it that was built, and I'm told it actually was down the block. It's not even on this plot.
That was in 1850.
Yeah.
But the Methodist Church started here earlier than that.
Right.
Meeting, it may have been, how many of the churches back in the early days started was in the local tavern.
Right. Fair.
Because that's where the people were.
Right.
And as pastors would come in, there was no single pastor who was in the church at that time that stayed there. It was a pastor who were a part of a circuit.
Oh.
And they would move from town to town to town to town throughout the year. And they might go through 60 different churches in a single year. Mm-hmm. And throughout a large area. And so they would come in, and the early Methodism started what were called classes. And they would just meet to learn about praying, to study the Bible, mm-hmm. to begin to learn what it means to be Christian and how to live that out. And that was the way that John Wesley started, the founder of Methodism, started the early church.
Yeah.
And so the early church here in Jackson was somewhere around 1830. Mm-hmm. And so you have those 20 years before they actually created or built their own church to have a building that they could call their own here.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
See, again, history. I feel like I could talk to you all day long about it.
Just because you have a church there doesn't mean the way it started was they build a church and they will come.
Right. Yeah. They were
First,
there.
you got to get the people,
Yeah.
and then they'll build the church after they've already come together.
Yeah. Which, honestly, you could learn a thing or two from history. We all know that. As long as you're learning the history, you can move forward. And really, if you're wanting to start a new ministry or start a new church service or any of the things, you can't do that if you don't have the body first.
Right.
And I know people say that if you build it, they will come. And in some ways, they're right to an extent, but you've got to have that core body of people to even have someone to do the thing.
Well,
so
things
it's
have
kind
changed.
of back and forth.
Things have changed in churches over the years, especially probably more so since the late 1960s. The churches have changed greatly. It used to be because of the cities and towns, they didn't have anything open in the town. On Sundays.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
The only thing that was happening was church on Sunday morning, and people would flock to the churches.
Yeah.
And then they would go home and have meals with their families. Or in the Methodist tradition, we just have the big church family and have a meal at the church.
Yes.
And so they would... that's how church was. That was the important thing on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have stores open except for maybe a gas station, the hospital, the fire department, the police department. Those things were essential.
Of course. Yeah.
But everything else was closed on Sundays. And then things have definitely changed, as all people know. There's more and more things pulling people on weekends, and churches are not always the number one priority for people anymore.
No. I've often said that I'm the oddity of a teenager because I was the one when I was in high school, I quit track, I quit some of those extracurriculars at the school to make sure that my life here at the church was not affected in any way. I prioritized the music ministry and the youth group. When I started youth group, I didn't start right away. And so I like to call myself the odd one out, the oddity, because that's not what you see today.
Yeah.
That's not what you saw 10 years ago,
Right.
over 10 years ago when I was in high school. If you weren't in a sport or in a school extracurricular, you were the weird one. So I was perfectly fine with being the weird one at some point because I quit all of that to stay here. So
Back when I was young, we didn't have sports on Sundays. All of our high school sports were on Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
We didn't have weekend games. That has changed throughout my lifetime.
Yeah.
But now there's so much that pull our kids, and when it pulls the kids, it pulls the parents.
Yeah.
And that becomes their priority.
Yeah. Well, it's not even schools now. You've got like the community leagues and
That's true.
all of those things that happen too. So
Well, everything's a tournament anymore in sports. And they go from tournament to tournament to tournament week after week after week.
which is great.
Well,
But I can't imagine that is a fun life. I feel like that would be exhausting.
it's an expensive life
That's also probably true.
because a lot of them are far enough away. You have to have a hotel. You have to buy food where you are. You have to travel.
Well, let alone, I mean,
distances.
the gas prices right now make that not fun.
Yeah, we could save you a lot of money. Just come to church. It's close.
Yes. There's our new slogan.
Yeah.
I'm putting it on the church website.
Get better gas mileage. Come to church.
Yes. Is there anything else that you would like any of our listeners to know about annual conference before we wrap up?
I think sometimes, I probably alluded to it a little bit, that people believe that when our annual conference is in Traverse City, Michigan, resort place in our state,
Yes.
that it's all a vacation.
Yeah.
But our calendar on those, on their 4 days, is packed with things that we have to do along the way to participate in. So it's not just going up and going out to the beach, and although it's been a little cold this year on the beach.
True.
But, or going up to Mission Point or Leelanau Peninsula and hit the different cherry farms.
Yeah.
Which I don't think the cherries are out yet, but to go to the wineries up there, or there's so many resort type of things there in Traverse City.
Yeah.
But we're not there just to go and have a vacation. We're going to do work, but within that work, we also get renewal and rest. And that us as pastors, or maybe staff, at least here at our church, we had staff that went to annual conference. It was a little bit of a time of renewal for us.
Yeah.
Because we as staff, we lead the church, we prepare it, but we don't get that opportunity to sit in a pew and to just worship.
Yeah. I definitely miss being able to be incognito, if you will, invisible in the sanctuary and just sit in the pew and participate. But I'm not even able to be in the sanctuary 80% of the time.
Right.
I come up, I fly in, and I start the worship service for you, and then I'm either up in the sound booth with the guys helping them out, or I'm down here in the office working on whatever it needs to be to
keep things running.
Yeah. Oftentimes for me, I'm down here and I'm watching the live stream so I can still hear, but it's actually, it's more so to know where you're at in the worship service than it is to actually worship, because I'm printing paperwork for the hospitality coffee hour, or I'm working on a graphic because you just said something and I'm going to make a graphic real quick to get out scheduled for the week. And so, I miss being able to do that, but I also love what I get to do as a staff member too, that it's like, where's the balance of all of that?
Right.
So annual conference definitely helped me feel a little bit more energized.
Yeah.
So.
And I enjoy greatly to be reunited with people that I haven't seen since the last annual conference.
Yes, I got to see people who helped shape my faith when I was a kid. That was fun. And, of course, just some friends I've made since I've been an adult. And I always look forward to the big hugs I get. So that's been fun. That was fun this year. Last year I didn't get the chance to really talk to them, to some of my friends. But then this year it was like we made it a priority. We sat there and talked for maybe 15 minutes, and then we were both late to wherever we needed to be. Yeah. I don't remember what we needed to be to, but we were late. Surprise. Yeah. Late's my middle name. Right. Oh, well, thank you so much for unpacking annual conference with me and helping people understand what we got to do a couple of weeks ago. So thank you for being here today.
You're welcome. And if there's any other questions, you can always, where I work here at the church. Yes. Give me a call. I'll be glad to sit down with you and explain it to you if you have questions.
Yes. And you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll link the conference website to this episode's description. That way, if you want to look into more details about what we did or find the information we did in the business sessions, you will be able to.
Or what's going on in church.
Yes. Well, you know what? We'll link it all.
Okay.
So, thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for spending some time with me today. If this episode encouraged you, share it with a friend or someone who might need it this week. And don't forget to follow along so you don't miss what's coming next. We'll see you back here soon in the in-between.